women over 50 with apple shapes are unconsciously making full styling mistakes that emphasize their midsection instead of creating beautiful proportions. Through my professional work with clients who have fuller tummies and shorter torsos, I've discovered 20 particular styling errors that make you look heavier and less polished than you actually are. Let's begin. Mistake number 1, empire waist sweaters that create tent silhouettes. Here's what I want you to observe about empire waist sweaters. They're marketed as flattering for fuller figures, but watch what actually happens when apple-shaped women wear them in full. The professional principle behind this is that empire waists sit right at the fullest part of your bust, then flow straight down over your midsection, creating a tent-like silhouette that makes you look pregnant rather than polished. When you have a fuller tummy or short torso, this style eliminates any waist definition and makes you appear larger overall. Watch how Helen Mirren approaches fall sweaters. She consistently chooses styles that suggest a waistline rather than eliminate it entirely. Notice what makes her approach so effective. Even when wearing comfortable pieces, she maintains some sense of proportion and structure. Instead of empire waist sweaters, choose styles with subtle waist definition like wrap sweaters, belted cardigans, or pieces with princess seaming. When shopping for fall knitwear, look for sweaters that skim your body without clinging or flowing too loosely. The visual result you're aiming for is a silhouette that suggests curves rather than hiding your entire torso. Your action step this week is to try on wrap-style sweaters and notice how they create a more flattering line than empire waists. Pro tip: if you love loose-fitting sweaters, choose ones that have some shaping through strategic seaming or subtle waist details. Do you see how the right sweater style can create the illusion of a defined waist? Mistake number 2. Horizontal stripe patterns that widen your midsection. Look at what I notice when apple-shaped women wear horizontal stripes across their torso. The eye stops and spreads horizontally, emphasizing width exactly where you want to minimize it. What's happening with horizontal stripes is that they create visual lines that make your midsection appear wider than it actually is. The visual principle is that the human eye follows lines and patterns, so when you place horizontal elements across your fullest area, you're literally directing attention there and making it look larger. Many women choose horizontal stripes thinking they're classic and timeless, but for apple shapes, they work against your goal of creating a balanced silhouette. The transformation I see when women switch to vertical elements is immediate. They look taller and leaner instantly. Replace horizontal stripes with vertical patterns, diagonal designs, or solid colours that create length rather than width. When shopping for fall tops, look for pieces with vertical seaming, pinstripes, or elongating design elements. The visual checkpoint you're looking for is patterns that draw the eye up and down rather than side to side. Your first step is to evaluate any horizontal striped pieces and consider replacing them with vertical alternatives. Pro tip: if you love stripes, choose thin vertical stripes or diagonal patterns that create movement and length. Mistake number 3. Cropped jackets that cut you in half visually. Something I've discovered about cropped jackets: they're one of the worst choices for apple-shaped women because they end right at your widest point, creating an unflattering horizontal line. The reason cropped jackets look problematic on apple shapes is that where your jacket ends is where the eye stops and focuses. When you end a jacket at your fullest point, you're creating emphasis exactly where you want to minimize attention. This becomes especially problematic in fall, when layering is essential for both warmth and style. The most stylish apple-shaped women understand that jacket length is crucial for creating flattering proportions. When you choose the right length, you can create a long, elegant line that minimizes your midsection. Choose longer jackets that hit at your hip bone or extend to mid-thigh instead of cropped styles. When shopping for fall outerwear, try on different lengths and notice where they end in relation to your body. The visual result you're aiming for is a jacket that creates an unbroken vertical line. Your action step is to stand sideways in the mirror when trying on jackets and see how different lengths affect your silhouette. Brands like Eileen Fisher and Lafayette 148 specialise in longer jacket styles that flatter apple shapes. I'm glad you're here learning about apple shape styling. If you want more insights on dressing your body type beautifully, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I share styling secrets for women over 50 with different body types regularly. Now let's continue because the next mistakes are even more common. Mistake number 4, tight belts that create muffin top effects. Here's what I share with my clients about belting apple shapes. Tight belts can actually make you look larger by creating bulges above and below the belt line. Tight belting becomes problematic for apple shapes because when you cinch in at your natural waist, which may not be your narrowest point anymore, you can create unflattering bulges. The professional principle is that belts should enhance your silhouette, not create new problem areas by forcing your body into unnatural shapes. Through my work with apple-shaped women, I've discovered that the key to successful belting is choosing the right width, placement, and tightness. The goal is subtle definition, not dramatic cinching that creates bulges. Use wider belts in darker colours that blend with your outfit, and belt loosely for gentle definition rather than tight cinching. When shopping for belts, look for styles that are 2 to 3 inches wide and match your outfit colour. The visual goal is subtle waist suggestion rather than dramatic emphasis. Your first step is to experiment with looser belting and notice how it creates definition without bulges. Pro tip: if traditional belting doesn't work for your body, try wrap dresses or tops with built-in waist definition instead. Trust me on this, gentle definition always looks more elegant than forced cinching. Mistake number 5, boxy blazers that add bulk without structure. Watch what happens when apple-shaped women wear boxy, unstructured blazers. They add bulk to your midsection without providing any flattering shape or definition. The issue with boxy blazers is that they create a rectangular silhouette that makes you look larger overall while hiding any curves you might have. When you have a fuller midsection, you need structure and shape, not additional bulk that makes you appear even larger. Look at how Oprah Winfrey handles blazers. She consistently chooses styles with subtle waist shaping that create structure without being too tight. Notice what makes her approach so effective. The blazers enhance her silhouette rather than hiding it under shapeless fabric. Select blazers with subtle waist shaping, princess seaming, or gentle tailoring that creates structure without being restrictive. When shopping for fall blazers, look for styles that nip in slightly at the waist or have design elements that suggest a waistline. The visual result you're aiming for is structure that enhances rather than hides your figure. Your action step is to try on structured blazers and compare them to boxy styles to see the difference. Pro tip: blazers with 1 or 2 buttons create a more flattering line than completely open or heavily buttoned styles. Mistake number 6, turtlenecks that create bulk around your neck and chest. Let me share something about turtlenecks for apple shapes. They can add visual weight to your upper body and make your neck appear shorter, which is unflattering for women with fuller midsections. What's happening with turtlenecks is that they create a horizontal line right at your chest level, then the eye naturally moves down to your midsection. When you have a short torso or fuller tummy, this creates an unbalanced proportion that makes your midsection appear more prominent. Many women choose turtlenecks thinking they're sophisticated and age-appropriate, but for apple shapes, they can actually be quite unflattering. The transformation I see when women switch to more open necklines is remarkable. They look taller and more balanced. Choose V-necks, scoop necks, or open collars that create vertical lines and draw attention upward instead of turtlenecks. When shopping for fall tops, look for necklines that elongate your neck and create a more flattering proportion. The visual checkpoint you're looking for is necklines that make your face the focal point. Your first step is to compare how you look in turtlenecks versus V-necks and notice the difference in proportions. Pro tip: if you love the warmth of turtlenecks, try mock necks or cowl necks that provide coverage without the bulk. Notice how the right neckline can completely change your proportions. Mistake number 7, oversized cardigans that overwhelm your frame. Here's another way to think about cardigans. When they're too oversized, they can make apple-shaped women look like they're drowning in fabric rather than stylishly layered. The professional principle behind this is that oversized pieces can make you look larger overall, especially when you already carry weight in your midsection. When cardigans are too big, they add bulk without providing any structure or flattering shape. See how Meryl Streep approaches cardigans? She chooses styles that have some shape and structure rather than completely oversized pieces. Notice what makes her approach so effective? The cardigans enhance her silhouette rather than overwhelming it. Select cardigans that skim your body without being tight or excessively loose. When shopping for fall cardigans, look for styles with some waist shaping or interesting details that create visual interest. The visual result you're aiming for is layering that adds sophistication without bulk. Your action step is to try on cardigans in your actual size rather than sizing up for comfort. Pro tip: cardigans with 3/4 sleeves can be more flattering than full-length sleeves for apple shapes. Can you spot the difference between overwhelming and flattering cardigan proportions? Mistake number 8. Wide leg pants that make you look bottom heavy. Watch what I notice when apple-shaped women wear very wide leg pants. They can create an unbalanced silhouette that makes your lower body look disproportionately large compared to your torso. What I've learned through my professional work is that when you have a fuller midsection, you need to create balance between your upper and lower body. Very wide leg pants can make your legs look larger, which throws off the overall proportion and makes your midsection appear even more prominent by comparison. The most stylish apple-shaped women understand that the key to flattering pants is finding the right balance. Not too tight, not too wide, but just right for creating elegant proportions. Choose straight leg or slightly tapered pants that create a clean line without being too wide or too narrow. When shopping for fall pants, look for styles that balance your proportions rather than exaggerating any one area. The visual goal is pants that create a long, lean line from hip to ankle. Your first step is to try on different pant silhouettes and notice which ones create the most balanced proportions. Pro tip: pants with a slight taper at the ankle can be very flattering for apple shapes because they create a streamlined silhouette. Mistake number 9. Busy patterns across your midsection. Something that often gets overlooked but makes a tremendous difference. Where you place patterns on your body can either enhance your best features or emphasize areas you'd rather minimize. This becomes especially important for apple-shaped women because busy patterns across your midsection create visual noise that draws attention exactly where you don't want it. What's happening when you wear large or busy patterns across your torso is that you're creating a focal point at your fullest area. The transformation that occurs when women move patterns away from their midsection is remarkable. Instead of drawing attention to their tummy area, they create visual interest in more flattering locations. Keep busy patterns away from your midsection and use them on areas you want to highlight, like sleeves or accessories. When shopping for fall pieces, look for solid colours or subtle patterns for tops, and save bolder patterns for scarves or bottom pieces. The visual result you're aiming for is drawing attention to your face and away from your midsection. Your action step is to evaluate where patterns are placed on your current pieces and consider moving bold patterns to more flattering locations. Pro tip: if you love patterned tops, choose small, subtle patterns in darker colours rather than large, bright designs. I'd love to know, which of these mistakes have you been making without realising their impact? Recognising these patterns is the first step to creating more flattering fall outfits. Mistake number 10. Low-rise pants that create muffin tops. A different perspective on this topic. The rise of your pants can either smooth your silhouette or create unflattering bulges, and most apple-shaped women are wearing the wrong rise. What I've discovered through my work is that low-rise pants sit below your natural waist, often creating a muffin top effect when your midsection is fuller. The visual principle is that the waistband should provide gentle support and create a smooth line, not cut into your body and create bulges. See how Jane Fonda handles pant rise. She consistently chooses mid-rise to high-rise pants that provide support and create a smoother silhouette. Notice what makes her approach so effective. The pants work with her body rather than against it. Choose mid-rise to high-rise pants that sit at or just below your natural waist for the most flattering fit. When shopping for fall pants, try on different rises and notice which ones create the smoothest silhouette under your tops. The visual checkpoint you're looking for is a waistband that doesn't dig in or create bulges. Your first step is to evaluate your current pants and notice which rises work best for your body. Pro tip: high-rise pants can actually be very flattering for apple shapes because they provide support and create a longer leg line. Mistake number 11. Chunky knit sweaters that add visual weight. Let me offer another perspective on fall sweaters. Chunky knits can add significant visual weight to apple-shaped figures, making you look larger than you actually are. This approach consistently delivers results because chunky knits create bulk exactly where apple shapes want to minimise volume. What's happening when you wear very thick textured sweaters is that you're adding visual and actual bulk to your midsection, which can make you appear significantly larger. The most elegant apple-shaped women understand that they can stay warm and cozy without adding unnecessary bulk through their clothing choices. The key is finding sweaters that provide warmth without overwhelming your frame. Choose fine gauge knits or medium weight sweaters that provide warmth without excessive bulk. When shopping for fall sweaters, feel the weight and thickness of the knit and consider how it will affect your silhouette. The visual result you're aiming for is warmth and comfort without added bulk. Your action step is to compare how you look in chunky versus fine gauge knits and notice the difference in your overall silhouette. Pro tip: cashmere and merino wool provide excellent warmth without the bulk of chunky knits. Mistake number 12, shapeless tunics that hide your waist completely. Here's something that might surprise you. Shapeless tunics, while comfortable, can actually make apple-shaped women look larger by eliminating any suggestion of a waistline. The professional principle behind this is that the human eye looks for an hourglass shape, and when you eliminate all waist definition, you create a rectangular silhouette that can be unflattering. When tunics are completely shapeless, they make you look like you're hiding your body rather than dressing it beautifully. Many women choose shapeless tunics thinking they're forgiving and comfortable, but the most sophisticated apple-shaped women understand that some shape is always more flattering than no shape at all. Select tunics with subtle waist shaping, side seams that curve in slightly, or asymmetrical hems that create visual interest. When shopping for fall tunics, look for styles that have some structure or design elements that suggest a waistline. The visual goal is comfort with subtle shaping rather than complete shapelessness. Your first step is to try on tunics with different levels of shaping and notice which ones are most flattering. Pro tip: tunics with vertical design elements or strategic seaming can be very flattering for apple shapes. Mistake number 13. Double-breasted coats that add bulk to your chest. Watch what happens when apple-shaped women wear double-breasted coats. They add visual weight and bulk to the chest and midsection area, creating an unflattering silhouette. What I've learned through my professional work is that double-breasted styles create horizontal lines across your torso and add fabric bulk exactly where apple shapes want to minimize volume. The overlapping fabric and double row of buttons create visual weight that can make you appear larger. Look at how Diane Keaton handles fall coats. She consistently chooses single-breasted styles that create clean, vertical lines. Notice what makes her approach so effective. The coats enhance her silhouette rather than adding unnecessary bulk. Choose single-breasted coats with clean lines and minimal detailing across the chest and midsection. When shopping for fall outerwear, look for styles that create vertical lines rather than horizontal emphasis. The visual result you're aiming for is outerwear that streamlines rather than bulks up your silhouette. Your action step is to compare how you look in single-breasted versus double-breasted styles and notice the difference. Pro tip: coats with princess seaming or subtle waist shaping can be very flattering for apple shapes because they create structure without bulk. Mistake number 14. Short jackets that emphasize hip width. Something I've noticed about truly elegant apple-shaped women. They avoid short jackets that end at their widest point, understanding that jacket length dramatically affects their proportions. What's happening with short jackets is that they create a horizontal line right at your hip level, which can make your lower body appear wider and your torso appear shorter. When you have a short torso or fuller midsection, this proportion can be particularly unflattering because it cuts your body into unfavourable segments. The transformation I see when women choose longer jacket lengths is remarkable. Instead of creating horizontal breaks that shorten their torso, they create long, elegant lines that are much more flattering. Select jackets that hit below your widest point, either at mid-thigh or longer, to create a more flattering proportion. When shopping for fall jackets, try them on and notice where they end in relation to your body. The visual checkpoint you're looking for is jacket lengths that don't create unflattering horizontal lines. Your first step is to evaluate your current jacket collection and notice which lengths are most flattering on your body type. Pro tip: longer jackets can actually make you look taller and leaner by creating unbroken vertical lines. Mistake number 15. Tight-fitting tops that show every curve. Here's another way to think about fit. When tops are too tight, they can actually emphasize your midsection by showing every curve and creating unflattering lines. The professional principle behind this is that clothing should skim your body rather than cling to it. When tops are too tight, they can create bulges, show undergarment lines, and draw attention to areas you'd rather minimise. This becomes especially problematic for apple shapes because tight tops emphasise the midsection. See how Helen Mirren approaches top fit. She consistently chooses pieces that follow her body's lines without being restrictive or clingy. Notice what makes her approach so effective. The tops enhance her figure without revealing every detail. Choose tops that skim your body with enough ease to move comfortably without being loose or tight. When shopping for fall tops, pay attention to how the fabric lies against your body. It should follow your curves without clinging. The visual result you're aiming for is a smooth, polished silhouette. Your action step is to evaluate the fit of your current tops and consider sizing up if they're too tight. Pro tip: fabrics with a bit of stretch can provide comfort while maintaining a smooth silhouette. Mistake number 16. Bulky scarves that add volume to your neck area. Let me share something about scarf styling for apple shapes. Bulky scarves can add unwanted volume to your upper body and make your neck appear shorter. This approach consistently delivers results because apple-shaped women often have shorter necks or fuller faces, and bulky scarves can exaggerate these proportions. What's happening when you wear very thick or voluminous scarves is that you're adding bulk exactly where you want to create length and elegance. The most stylish apple-shaped women understand that scarves should enhance their neckline and face rather than overwhelming these areas with excessive bulk or volume. Choose longer, thinner scarves that can be draped vertically to create length rather than bulky styles that add width. When shopping for fall scarves, look for pieces that drape beautifully and can be styled to create vertical lines. The visual goal is scarves that enhance your neckline without adding bulk. Your first step is to experiment with different scarf styling techniques that create vertical rather than horizontal emphasis. Pro tip: silk or lightweight wool scarves often drape more elegantly than chunky knits for apple shapes. Mistake number 17. Pleated skirts that add volume to your midsection. Watch what sophisticated apple-shaped women avoid: pleated skirts that add volume and visual weight exactly where they want to minimise their silhouette. The reason pleated skirts can be problematic for apple shapes is that the pleats create additional fabric bulk around your midsection and hips. When you already carry weight in your middle, adding more volume through pleating can make you appear larger overall. Through my work with apple-shaped clients, I've discovered that the key to flattering skirts is choosing styles that create smooth lines rather than adding bulk through design elements like pleats or gathers. Select A-line or straight skirts that skim your body without adding volume through pleating or gathering. When shopping for fall skirts, look for styles with clean lines and minimal detailing around the waistband. The visual result you're aiming for is skirts that create a smooth transition from your waist to your hips. Your action step is to try on different skirt styles and notice which ones create the most flattering silhouette. Pro tip: skirts with subtle side seaming can be very flattering because they create shape without bulk. Can you see how the right skirt style can balance your proportions beautifully? Mistake number 18. Layering too many pieces that create bulk. Something that costs nothing but makes a huge difference. Understanding how to layer effectively without creating bulk is essential for apple-shaped women in fall. What I know from years of experience is that apple shapes need to be strategic about layering because too many pieces can add significant bulk to the midsection. The visual impact of proper layering is that you stay warm while maintaining a streamlined silhouette. The most elegant apple-shaped women understand that effective layering is about choosing the right pieces in the right order, not just adding multiple items without considering the overall effect. Layer strategically by choosing thinner base layers and adding structured outer pieces, rather than multiple bulky items. When shopping for fall layering pieces, consider how they'll work together to create a cohesive, streamlined look. The visual goal is warmth and style without excessive bulk. Your immediate action step is to practice layering different combinations and notice which create the most flattering silhouette. Pro tip: start with fitted base layers and add progressively looser outer layers to avoid bulk. Mistake number 19. Wrong undergarments that create unflattering lines. Here's something that might surprise you. Wearing the wrong undergarments can make even perfectly fitted clothes look unflattering on apple-shaped figures. The professional principle behind this is that proper undergarments create a smooth foundation that makes all your clothes look better. When undergarments don't fit correctly or provide adequate support, they can create bulges, lines, or unflattering shapes under your clothing. Many apple-shaped women focus on their outer clothing, but neglect the foundation pieces that can make or break their overall silhouette. The transformation that occurs with proper undergarments is often dramatic and immediate. Invest in well-fitted bras and smoothing undergarments that create a clean silhouette under your full clothes. When shopping for undergarments, prioritize fit and function over fashion. The visual result you're aiming for is a smooth foundation that makes all your clothes look more expensive and better fitted. Your action step is to get professionally fitted for bras and consider smoothing undergarments for your fall wardrobe. Pro tip: seamless undergarments work best under fitted fall clothing to avoid visible lines. Mistake number 20. Ignoring proportion balance in your overall outfit. Something that costs nothing but makes the biggest difference. Understanding how to balance proportions is the key to flattering dressing for apple shapes. What I know from years of experience working with apple-shaped women is that the goal is creating visual balance between your upper and lower body. When proportions are off, even expensive clothes can look unflattering, but when they're balanced, you look polished and put together. The most sophisticated apple-shaped women understand that every element of their outfit should work together to create harmonious proportions rather than emphasizing any one area disproportionately. Consider your outfit as a whole and ensure that no single element overwhelms your silhouette or creates unflattering emphasis. When getting dressed, step back and evaluate your overall proportions rather than focusing on individual pieces. The visual goal is a balanced, harmonious silhouette that flatters your figure. Your immediate action step is to practice evaluating your outfits in a full-length mirror and adjusting elements that throw off your proportions. The best part about understanding proportion is that it works with clothes you already own and makes everything look more expensive and flattering. These 20 mistakes work against apple-shaped figures by emphasizing the midsection and creating unflattering proportions. Remember, the goal isn't to hide your body. It's about creating beautiful balance and celebrating your figure with clothes that enhance your best features. Check out one of the 2 videos on your screen now. See you in our next video!